Okay, it is 5:00 p.m. on Thursday, August 28th, 2025. I call the special town board meeting of the town of LaPointe to order. Roll call, Mike Anderson.
Here.
Amy Baxter. Not here. Sue Brenna.
Here.
Samantha Dobson.
Here.
And Glenn Carlson here. Okay, first item is public comment. Do we have any public comment, Paul?
If this easement of the right of way is to adjust future building setbacks, it should really go before the TPC subsequent to the town board granting such an easement. I hope the town board isn't circumventing the zoning ordinance as they tried to do in the past when they decided to increase the TPC from 5 to 7 members on a simple voice vote.
Any other, Charlie?
I just have concerns as a town plan commission member about granting an easement property owner without going through the complete process. I have the complete backstory of what Bretzner's want to do up there on Sunny Slope, but I would suggest having be in front of the town plan commission first in case an easement is a better route. Again, I don't have all the backstories, I don't want to comment too much, but I think going for an easement this early in the process is putting the cart before the horse. And we do have a meeting, I know, on September 10th, so we also have a small meeting after a public hearing, but we do have one in early September if this could be addressed then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other? Okay, moving on. We do have a request to approve a right-of-way easement for the Grutzner property at 1045 Sunny Slope. And I appreciate the comments, and I appreciate the letter we got from Jim Peters and Paul Wilharm earlier today. And I think, everybody is making very good comments. And, my big issue is that it seems, from what I understand, that the town has not the cleanest hands in this whole transaction, and that our former zoning administrator may have perhaps mishandled this as has happened in the past. I do know that it turns out that back, I believe in the fall, the town was presented with a similar problem on South Shore, and
Fall of 24.
I'm sorry.
The fall of 2024, last fall.
Yeah. And we went to our attorney, who said that under the current zoning ordinance, the town board could interpret the zoning ordinance to allow setback to include an easement. And that went through, that was approved, with the understanding that, actually, I think I said this myself, that we should close that when we do the zoning rewrite. The fact is that it still is out there, the zoning rewrite. We haven't had the public hearing yet, even on it. So I'm a little torn to not give someone the benefit of that. And then, the fact of, the town having some responsibility for this delay. And we all know that this time of year, delays in construction can push you back a whole year, if not more. And, I would hate to see the town being responsible for any undue delays. Especially if there's something that the town can do to cure this, that is really no cost to the town. Now, it does bring up the future about this, the proposed change. And it has actually been suggested to me that now that this has happened a couple of times, where this tool has been used to cure some otherwise very intractable problems, that perhaps this maybe should remain at least in a modified form, and not be prohibited under the new zoning ordinance, but perhaps be given another arrow in the quiver for the zoning board of appeals. So I hear what you say, and I don't want to open this up to an unrestricted use of easements for setbacks, but I feel personally that if the town has some responsibility for the delay, and if the property owner could have and would have availed themselves to one of the other three alternatives that you mentioned, had they been properly informed by the town of the circumstances, I don't think we'd be here now. And so that's my thoughts on it. And I'll turn to Rich or Max. Rich?
Yeah, I think that's a good thought. I mean, there are certain instances, as you drive around the island, where you've got buildings that were constructed 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago, that are in a precarious location in regards to the roads, where there's not a lot of good solutions, and having this going forward as another tool and an option on a very limited basis, I think would be beneficial for the town and the residents.
Well, my preference is, as I mentioned to you, Glenn, I think that to the extent the town caused property owners to incur additional costs, I think the town should take care of that, make him whole, if indeed we did cause that. But I would prefer that then he go in front of the Board of Appeals or zoning Board of Appeals and ask for a variance as a way out of this.
When you say he, what do you mean?
Pardon?
You said he.
The property owner.
Property.
Okay.
I know that would cause additional delay, which is part of this whole problem that this solution is trying to address. Apparently, the town has caused some additional costs in terms of changes in his house design and things like that from the former zoning administrator, and a delay. But we make him whole for that to the extent we can, but to respect the process that we currently have. The changes that he wants to make, he goes to the zoning Board of Appeals and asks for a variance. It doesn't solve the issue of this kind of easement granting. It doesn't. But I think that we need a little more time to process what this easement is, what kind of a tool it can be, how it would be managed, whether it should be granted by the board versus first reviewed by TBC, those kind of things. I would prefer that we do that in a more orderly manner, take care of whatever damage we cause to the property owner by our screw ups, but respect the process and have him, because he's really asking a variance, would fix it if they granted him. And that's the opinion.
Can they grant a variance? I thought that the zoning board's ability to grant a variance on setbacks was limited to 25% of the required setback. That I'm hearing someone saying no, the chair of the zoning board. Okay.
Zoning Board of Appeals.
How many more ticking time bombs do we think we have from the past? Because that's 3 that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm concerned that it just concerns me that what else hasn't shown itself yet.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? Well, how would you know? That was probably a stupid
Well,
question.
how about this? How about that? Because I don't want to have to keep having additional meetings either. How about if the town board were to approve this conditioned on the approval of the TPC at their next meeting, which will be September 3rd, right after your public hearing? I think that I do think we should have the TPC consider this and the whole scheme of things, including the town's responsibility for,
That's, yeah.
you know, for causing this, but I think, you know, a 1 week delay, you know, is, I think reasonable so that the TPC can consider this and think about whether or not actually this is something that you want to reserve for the zoning board of appeals as a tool in their toolbox down the road with some very specific limitations, because it does provide another avenue if I think there is deliberation by, you know, a group like the zoning board or the TPC or the town board. But I think that I'll make a motion that we approve the easement subject to the approval of the TPC at their next meeting.
What happens if they don't approve it though?
Then they don't approve it, then it doesn't get approved.
Within a week?
It's just reversed in the sense of order. Both are weighing in, it's just,
We're giving them the option. If we can always, after they have done what they will do, we can reconvene the town board. I'm just saying, let's streamline it. And if they agree to this, then we don't have to meet again.
What bothers me is that, as far as I can tell, and correct me if I'm wrong, that they tried to do it the right way, and they were led down a path to do it the wrong way. And now they're being punished for it. That's what kind of bothers me. It's like they tried to do it the right way. And they went to the town and said, okay, so what do we have to do? And that they were told wrong. And, you know, and now we're, you know, in this situation. That's what bothers me. And I don't think we should be put in this situation.
Well, you know, I do think that it would be worthwhile for someone, not probably the town board at this point, to understand the details of what happened, and to take that into account in considering this, understanding that the town board wants to mitigate this problem to the extent that we can without creating undue precedent, which we've already created, but to continue that. So
You said that if the rewrite for the zoning ordinance passes and we accept it and it's put in God's fingers, you know, gets a gold seal approval, then this is gone, right?
correct,
So did you make a motion?
I did.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
I.
Aye. Opposed? Carries. Thank you all.